What's up, everybody? Welcome to Day Trade. And today it is this is the trade breakdown for today, Monday, April 4th, 2022. And yeah, let's just get right into it. I'm actually working on my trade journal right now, so you guys can see a little bit of what I'm doing. But this is exactly what I seen at open. Well, actually, let's actually do this first, right? Yes. Alright, so let's do a replay, and we'll do it from, I hopped on about, let's just say that right now. And so yeah, this is what I seen. So we were able to catch the sell yesterday. We only caught 68 of the potential. I think it was like 201 pips total from my entry area. And we seen a bullish pennant right here, or bearish pennant right here, in which I took the trade off of this. Beautiful. It was actually a really great trade here. But today, what I had noticed was, for one, there was a lower low, a lower high created here. Lower low, lower high created here. Then we had a higher high, a lower high. A higher low with a higher high, right? Now, I wouldn't think this is a break of structure on its own right here. I'd still think, it's respecting the ILC and could possibly come down. But throughout the Asian session yesterday, we had seen that price was kind of sitting on top of this level, this 50% sell-off level, right? Which is something that I noticed. Sitting on this level. And what it did was it pushed up and actually broke, right, this high here as well. Now, it's kind of similar to what happened here, but the main thing is when price came back and retested this, creating this trend line, right? Came back, retested the 50% sell-off ILC, which it has shown respect here, resistance, resistance, and then some more support, support, broke above it, and then used it as support again. So this was a little bit of a confirmation for me that this trade is looking to trend up, right? So the big one was when price broke above this area here, it broke this lower high. This right here was the key one for a break of structure for me. And this was the golden zone ILC that we had sold off of yesterday. And I dragged it out and I seen that price was somewhat respecting it, right? But I also liked what I seen here, break of structure, just move with the trend. It's a lower high, a higher low, break a structure to the upside. Let's, stay with the trend. And so yeah, this is essentially what I seen right here. And I seen that price was respecting this trend line, created this trend line, which I drew it out. You could go ahead and check that on the live stream replay. And then we had the 50-minute 50 EMA right here, while price actually crossed over. It crossed over as well. The 20 EMA crossed over the 50, which could could signal a change in direction, right? So all these confirmations were for me to go ahead and take the trade, essentially. So that was the 15-minute chart. Now let's break it down on the 5-minute chart. It looks a little bit clearer. So I drew out my Fibonacci from most recent low to the most recent high. And we had these ILCs, right? So we had the 15-minute ILC, right? And then we had the 5-minute ILC, right? Golden zone. And then we had the 5-minute ILC here at the 50% level, right? So I noticed this. I seen that price had respected it already. And I knew that this is something that I wanted to take a look at for, my trade call. And this is actually what we determined pre-New York. This is just what I have right here to show the trade. But this is what I seen, a little bit of respect here. And this is about 558. So let's speed it up a little. This is key right here too. You can see price is pushing up. And I also drew this out right here as well. This was a 50% ILC level. The reason I drew it out was because the 5-minute 50 EMA was breaking through down here. So we could see essentially a price is going to push down or push up. And I made a mistake here, right? As soon as we pushed off at open, I seen that price rejected here. And I'm thinking, man, is this a breaker structure right here? A little bit of overthinking on my end. Is this a breaker structure right here to the downside? But it's kind of funny because midway through this trade right here, well, let's see, right here is open, right? So I seen that price had reject price, this key IOC level, well, not key, but 5-minute IOC level right here. Speed it up a little bit. So price did that. We had a huge rejection, right? So I took the sell right here after I seen this huge 20 pip rejection wick. Took a sell just thinking, okay, possibly. But as I price approached right here, I took my profits. I'm like, what am I doing? You know, the trend is an uptrend. Let's stick to the bias and go about it that way. So I pulled the trade pretty quickly and was able to bank, I think, about $70 or so. Then I entered a buy. A little late, but you could see price right here. Sorry, I just noticed how skinny the candles were. I noticed that price fully engulfed right here, so I entered my trade, and it moved up pretty quickly, right? Pushed up here, so this is where I entered my trade. I put in a buy, was expecting price to continue to push up, but what did price do? It came all the way back down. I didn't lose 22 pips. I want to say I lost about 17, 15. I lost about $66 or so, or something like that, $65. And pulled the trade right here. Got stopped out essentially, but then I entered again, right? So I entered again at this level, and I took my buy. Now price automatically pushed up. I had two buy positions. This was my bottom one, and my second one was about 8 pips above. And we took it, right? And the reason I took it again was because of the 50% rejection right here, the trend line, the 15-minute 50 EMA. All of these things were signals for me to go ahead and take this buy to the upside, right? So you could see here price had pushed up and continued to move up. I took my first profits at I took half my trade at 51 pips, and the reason I did that, we had rejections right here. We had rejections right here, right, previously. So that was really the reason that I took some profits at these levels, right? These were key levels that had been respected before, and I thought it can happen again. There was also a 15... excuse me. There was also a 15-minute 50 EMA. I'm sorry, 15-minute golden zone ILC right here. And this is essentially why I took my trade out right here at 71 pips. I seen this key level, and it was at 27%. I was thinking, okay, don't get too greedy, just take your trade. You know, it was decent. There was decent profits. I was happy with them, and it was pretty quick, right? This is essentially 8 minutes of trading. Took a loss. Took a sell. Took a loss, took a sell, right? Or took a sell, got some profit, took a loss on a buy after, you know, came back and respected it. But then once I hopped in, essentially no drawdown and price, you know, just skyrocketed up. Now, when I got to this level right here, I seen that price was rejecting it. Sorry, I deleted it already. But I seen that price was kind of rejecting it, and I just exited the trade basically. I seen a little bit of rejections right here, but after a few minutes, you start to see prices starting to move up, and you can see why I pulled, I mean, not why I pulled my trade, but this is why I pulled my trade. And then price started to make its way up, where it just completely skyrocketed. I only caught about 74 pips. 74 of the potential, what is it, 266 pips, and it came up to another key level from March 30th, a sell-off ILC where we had taken it, and I knew there was a good chance price could make it up to the 61% for sure. I just didn't want to get greedy. I'm like, it's not too far away. But you know, the reason I think that price continued to push up so much was we had these IMGs, these gaps that needed to be filled, right? And then not only that, I think price needed to break structure to the upside. And that's essentially what happened right here. Price broke above, and broke above these lower highs right here, and just continued to move up. So you can see what happened. Price just continued to move up for the most part. And yeah, that was that. So I think the biggest thing for me is my entries are, and I don't mean to toot my own horn, but they're pretty damn spot on, right? My entries have been great. At open, you can see these are all entries I opened 6:30, right? I know this one I waited for, which was I was actually proud of myself. But the entry here, beautiful. Entry here, beautiful. Entry here, beautiful. But the main thing is I'm not catching the full trade. I'm a scalper, but I should be able to. I see it, but it's something that I need to work on as a trader is getting better at holding these winners longer. So something I need to work on, but it was a beautiful trade today. We're able to profit, and at the end of the day, the bottom line's the bottom line. So if we can make that happen, then that's a good thing. So now what I'd be looking for is more buys. And it looks like, price is kind of creating a higher low right here. So we should see another push up, maybe through London for tomorrow. Or if we see price break below here, below this low, we could possibly see it break all the way down to this level, possibly taking a sell down if price breaks structure to the downside. Or we just see price continue to push up, possibly use the 15-minute 50 EMA as a support level again, and are using it as support and just continue to push up. So I'd be looking for something like that, but we'll see what price does through London session right now, and we'll go from there. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. This is a great day in terms of just money wise, right? I was able to profit about $440, and it was really, 8 minutes, 9 minutes of trading. So you can't be mad at that. Definitely not. So, we'll get back at it tomorrow and, just work on trying to get better at the craft. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Oh yeah, and let me just shout it out. 6:15 every morning. You'll see the live stream here on YouTube. Follow my Instagram page at Daytrade with Zay. You could go ahead and see all my entries right there and my profits for the day, losses for the day, whatever it may be. So go ahead and subscribe and follow both. Appreciate you guys, man. Have a good one.